The Derek Carr debate is an ongoing discussion among the Raiders community, among Raider Nation in general. And you got one side that says he has not had the help. The team has not given him the receivers, the running backs, the weapons, the defense that he needs to be successful. That is why he does not have that many wins. And then you got another side that says, hey, he has more weapons than most people. He himself just has not been able to get it done. And so this thing happens year after year. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down every single year of Derek Carr's career and take a look at the weapons he had, the rank of the defense he's had, and see if it's really on him. And I'll give my verdict at the end of this video. Is it on Carr, or has the team not helped him out? But before we get into it, man, remember to like this video. It really helps me in the algorithm. And if you are new to this channel, subscribe. Get stories, news, and analysis on Raider Nation and the rest of the NFL here at the Raiders Rundown with Wi-Fi Willie. So for each of these, we're going to take a look at the defensive rank, the receiving grade of each receiver, and the receiving grade of a running back with the highest receiving yards, along with every player's targets and receptions. 2021, one of the most tragic seasons for the Raiders in their history, in my opinion, but also the most successful in pretty much the past 10 years. Derek Carr actually played in a playoff game, unlike 2016 where he wasn't allowed to play at all due to injury. And let's take a look at the weapons we have here. I did not include Henry Ruggs because he did not have enough yardage, basically, to even reach the top three, nor did he have enough targets, but he did have roughly 400 yards, I believe. So Zay Jones had one of his better years while he was a Raider, even one of his better years compared to his time with the Buffalo Bills. 70.4 PFF grade along with 77 targets and 52 receptions. So a little over 60%. It'd be really interesting to see how he does having a full season. Since he's been a Raider, he's never started a full season. He's only come in halfway for a little bit or subbed in here and there. I'm curious to see. He's still a young guy in his 20s, but not exactly top tier talent when you're looking to try to make a Super Bowl run, right? Hopefully he can maybe get an opportunity next year to start a full season, and we can see what he can do, because look at it. He has a better PFF grade than Bryan Edwards here at a 62.6 PFF grade, 62 targets with 37 receptions. That is like mid 50%. That's pretty bad. We don't know necessarily if it's a drop or maybe Derek Carr is not in sync with him, but for whatever reason, no production from Bryan Edwards this past year, despite the fact that he played the most snaps he's played as a NFL receiver. In 2020, he was heavily injured. Hunter Renfrow, Pro Bowler, man. 135 targets with 111 receptions. That's great. I mean, anybody's going to want that. 80.3 PFF grade, the best wide receiver on the team. The only problem is this guy's just a slot receiver. He has only lined up outside for 219 snaps this past year. Compare that to Bryan Edwards, who lined up 338 snaps outside, and Zay Jones, 427 snaps outside. So he's primarily in the slot. That's what he does. Not exactly going to beat somebody on the outside at all. Darren Waller, a regress this year, still 102 targets. That's more than any receiver besides Hunter Renfrow. 62 receptions, though. Really bad percentage there. 63.9 PFF grade, a step below his previous 2 years. I mean, I often wonder, how bad is Waller's injury? This guy didn't play for like 6 games. I mean, that's huge. That is a huge amount of time to miss. I wonder what's really going on, and I hope he's at 100%. Josh Jacobs had his most targets, I think, as a Raider in the receiving game. 63 PFF grade, 69 targets, and 58 yards. It's interesting to see this. Jacobs actually has a high percentage of reeling in his catches. It just doesn't always turn into yardage. We'll see what happens if he can break more tackles and extend some of these dump-offs and checkdowns that go to him, but he saw the most action in his whole entire career in the receiving game just this past year. And another thing, this defense was ranked 14th. This is the best defense that Derek Carr has ever played with. In his whole entire career, he's never had a defense ranked 14th in yardage, and you'll see that as we go through all the numbers. So it does kind of suck that we did lose Gus Bradley because it worked well last year. Hopefully Patrick Graham can keep up the same type of production. 2020, no fans in the stands, right? But it's the first year in Vegas. You have Paulie G's defense ranked 25th in yards, a huge step back from what we had just this previous year in 2021. Nelson Aguilar, the leading receiver, 82 targets, leading in targets and yardage, 48 receptions, 73.8 PFF grade. That's great. It's crazy to think too, Henry Ruggs back in 2020 was not that good. We were really down on him. We were really disappointed. And you had John Gruden in press conferences even saying, hey, Nelson Aguilar's taking some of his snaps. He's taking some of his targets. And you see it right there. He definitely did. Henry Ruggs with the 55.6 PFF grade. That is not good. 43 of 23 in terms of targets and receptions. So around 50%, a little bit above 50%, not good at all. Hunter Renfrow, 75.0 PFF grade, 75 targets, 56 receptions. That is decent, a solid season for Hunter Renfrow. And Darren Waller went absolutely insane in 2020. 140 targets, 107 receptions, and a 90.9 PFF PFF grade. That is insane. But that's not necessarily what you want to happen, where you just rely on your tight end so much. It's great to have him as a weapon, but you really would have liked to see Aguilar step up, Ruggs step up to a true number one receiver. And when you look over these past 2 years, it seems like Nelson Aguilar is the closest thing we've had to a versatile number one receiver just in these past 2 years. Jacobs, as you can see, less receptions than he had in 2021, 41 targets and 33 receptions. So he literally had 19 more just this year compared to 2020. 56.2 PFF grade, not good at all. So you see, still struggling to have supreme talent in 2020 and in 2021. Now 2019 was crazy because we had so many receivers on our team and we almost had AB, man. But I'm really disappointed we can't have AB on this list, but you know, stuff happens. Tyrell Williams though was the number one receiver, 66.7 PFF grade, 64 targets and 42 receptions. That is really good. However, you know, he got injured, wasn't able to play really the second half of the season, and we ended up relying on a lot of weird people to be Derek Carr's weapon. You had Trevor Davis get into the mix a lot, Marcel Aitman, and a lot of receivers who are not on this team today and maybe not even on any team right now. But you still had Zay Jones come in mid-year with the trade from the Buffalo Bills, 43 targets, 27 receptions, 52.1 PFF grade, not good, but it's going to be difficult coming in mid-year. Hunter Renfrow, 76.5 PFF grade, higher than what he had in 2020, 67 targets, 49 receptions. Hunter Renfrow has been a solid wide receiver for the Raiders for the past 3 years. That is really great to see. However, like I said, all the snaps are coming from the slot. Darren Waller, another great season, 86.8 PFF grade, 115 targets with 90 receptions. Solid year, his first year starting as a Raider full-time, and it's great to see that. It's great to see also Jalen Richard. I really wish Jalen Richard would get more involved in the passing game. He was really good for us in 2018 and 2019. 2019 here, 68.0 PFF grade, along with 42 targets and 36 receptions. So too many shuffling pieces for me. You have Ryan Grant, Marcel Aitman, Trevor Davis, these random people coming into the mix to be wide receivers because you don't have consistency. I lose AB, have some injuries to Tyrell Williams. This was a rough year for Derek Carr in terms of weapons. Renfrow and Waller pretty much for the third year in a row being the only foundation he really has. All right, 2018, the first year under John Gruden, when we ship away Khalil Mack, ship away Amari Cooper, all this crazy stuff, right? Rebuild year, tank year, in some people's opinion. I don't have Amari Cooper on this list because Amari Cooper had about the same targets as Marcel Aitman. He actually had more yards and more receptions as a Raider, but I'm not going to include him because we traded him away for the majority of the year. But Marcel Aitman still not able to reach Amari Cooper's production, even though he played more games for us. So you got Jordy Nelson here, 70.2 PFF grade, 99 targets, 68 receptions. We don't usually target a receiver close to 100 times in these previous 3 years. Seth Roberts, we remember him, 61.8 PFF grade, 60 targets, 45 receptions. Still struggling, but you got Marcel Aitman really struggling. The rookie, 54.2 PFF grade, 30 targets and 15 receptions, 7th round pick. So you can't expect too much from him. Primarily a run blocker, Marcel Aitman. But Jared Cook had a great year, 81.4 PFF grade and 99 targets of 68 receptions. So Jordy Nelson and Jared Cook definitely leading the way, with Jalen Richard also 77 targets and 68 receptions, tying Jordy Nelson, tying Jared Cook in receptions. It's crazy to think that Jalen Richard was tied for number one in receptions on our team in 2018, but maybe that just shows you how thin the room really was. Either way though, Jalen Richard, 82.5 PFF grade in the receiving game. Jacobs has not done that at all in the past 3 years, and maybe that's why the Raiders went out and signed Kenyon Drake. All in all, rebuild year, tank year, 26th ranked defense with Paul Gunther, not going to be enough to win a Super Bowl. 2017, we have Amari Cooper. Wow, Amari Cooper, man, he's the GOAT. He's on the Cowboys, right? He's dope, but he had a 62.9 PFF grade in 2017, even though he played a lot, 90 targets, 48 receptions. Michael Crabtree, still solid and having a better year than Cooper in terms of PFF grade. You got 71.7, 99 targets, 58 receptions, but this team was demoralized, man. We saw them, lack of chemistry, seemed like people weren't getting along. Jack Del Rio appeared to lose a locker room, and he was fired at the end of the year. Seth Roberts still hanging around, but not putting up good numbers, 54.6 PFF grade, 65 targets, 43 receptions, and Jared Cook also struggling as well in his first year with the Raiders, 64.7 PFF grade, 83 targets and 54 receptions, but Jalen Richard still putting up a solid year despite the fact that he did not see as much action. He got 31 targets, 27 receptions, and a 75 PFF grade, but still, Jalen Richard has the highest receiving PFF grade out of everybody in 2017, and it's crazy to think that that includes Amari Cooper. Obviously, he's getting less targets, so his grades are going to look a little better, but Cooper, I expected him to beat out Crabtree here in terms of grading, but it's not the case. Maybe the chemistry wasn't there. We've seen Cooper put up some nice seasons with the Cowboys. 2016, it's the big year. It's when Derek Carr was an MVP candidate. Let's take a look at his weapons here. You got the 26th ranked defense, so really not a better defense than he's had had under John Gruden. 79.7 PFF grade for Amari Cooper, pretty much the same as Crabtree, 79.4. But look at these targets to the wide receivers. This is what we have not had in a very long time. Since when have we had a wide receiver where you have 142 targets and then Cooper 127? That's insane for Raiders fans now. Hunter Renfrow at 111 targets just this past year, and then Waller obviously gets his targets, but we need this more. We need to have receivers where, damn, you could feed them the ball just like that. 83 receptions for Cooper and 89 for Crabtree. Seth Roberts still here, 55.3 PFF grade, 75 targets and 38 receptions. That's still a lot of targets for a receiver compared to what we do as of late. And Clive Walford, the third-round pick out of Miami, 55.8 PFF grade, 49 targets, 33 receptions. And Latavius Murray, 65.4 PFF grade, 38 targets, 33 receptions. Not too much action from your tight ends and running backs. As of late, you've seen us target them a lot more than what we did in 2016. Still some pretty good weapons here. I was surprised that Cooper did not have a much better PFF grade than Crabtree. Practically the same. You would think he would because that was a really big year for him. 2015, Cooper, first year as a rookie, 71.1 PFF grade, 123 targets, 72 receptions. 2015, it's Cooper's rookie year, Carr's second year in the NFL. Defense is a little better than 2016 in terms of yardage, 22nd. You got Cooper, 71.1 PFF grade, 123 targets, 72 receptions. Crabtree, 75.9 PFF grade, 143 targets, 85 receptions. So this, 2016 and 2015, that's a lot of targets to a wide receiver, something that we just don't do anymore. 52 targets, 32 receptions, 57.7 PFF grade. And Clive Walford having a much better PFF grade his first year, 70.8, 49 targets, 28 receptions. And Marcel Reese, current advisor to Mark Davis now, still on the Raiders, at 74.2 PFF grade and 36 targets and 30 receptions. Pretty good staff, pretty much the same that you had in 2016 when you look at it, exactly the same. And look, the production was there. You had a lot of the wide receiver production was there, but you still don't have a dynamic tight end or a dynamic running back. It makes you think, if we were able to have Waller and Jacobs, what we have today, Renfrow, a great slot receiver, and have two receivers of the caliber of Cooper and Crabtree, how great could this team really be, right? We really just need two guys to put up this same kind of production. But at the end of the day, this is Cooper's rookie year. Crabtree, he's an older veteran. This still is not elite talent to put around your quarterback. You should not expect a Super Bowl in 2015 or 2016, to be quite frank. And when you look at Carr's rookie year, I mean, this is just hilarious. 21st ranked defense. So one of the better defenses he had in his whole career was his rookie year in 2014 under Dennis Allen. And then you got 62.7 PFF grade for Andre Holmes, that guy, the big body receiver, 91 targets, 47 receptions. And then James Jones, NFL Network, former Packer guy, right? 66 PFF grade, 108 targets, 73 receptions. And Bryce Butler, 68.7 PFF grade, 34 targets, 21 receptions. And Michael Rivera, pretty talented tight end, but didn't really, have a long career in the NFL, but I really like seeing him play. 92 targets. That's crazy. 58 receptions. So he has the second most targets on the team in 2014, 56.5 PFF grade. And Marcel Reese, yet again, is here. 54 targets. That is a lot for a back. And 37 receptions, 57.3 PFF grade. So, obviously you're not going to expect anything in 2014. It's Carr's rookie year. Just trying to test it out, see if he could really be a franchise QB. Second round pick, stole Matt Schaub's job, right? So all in all, I don't really think you could say Derek Carr had many great weapons. Aside from 2015 and 2016, you have two stud receivers in Cooper and Crabtree. And then these past 2 years, you have a good slot receiver in Renfrow and Darren Waller, elite tight end. But when you look at it overall, I don't see how you expect this guy to go to a Super Bowl. Even when we had Amari Cooper, he only put up a 79 PFF grade. That's not that great. Had a lot of targets, though. Had a lot of receptions. I'm just not seeing elite talent around Derek Carr for a full season. I wouldn't blame him at all. I think the Raiders have not stacked enough talent around him, but who knows? So 2019 and 2021, I think, presented some opportunities to see how talented Derek Carr really is. 2019, if we would have had Antonio Brown and Tyrell Williams, then I think you'd be able to adequately judge, is Derek Carr elite, right? Because you wouldn't be able to really complain because you got a really solid wide receiver in Antonio Brown and a good wide receiver too in Tyrell Williams. 2021, this past year, you have Ruggs, you have Waller, you have Renfrow. I think that's a good opportunity to judge Derek Carr and say, hey, you got some elite talent here in every single position. If you don't make it happen, that's on you. And you saw him make it happen for the first 4 games. He was putting up great numbers, then Gruden, then Ruggs, everything went downhill from there. But I would really like to see us give him 2 solid wide receivers with the current roster we have and let us see, is this guy it? Is this guy legit? Is he a franchise QB? I think the answer would be yes. Hey, my name is Wi-Fi Willie. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like this video if you watched it all the way through. And remember to subscribe to this channel to get more Raiders news and updates. Peace out and have a good one.